Siesta Sand Live. Siesta Sand Live is broadcast from Captain Kurt's Village. It's Siesta Key's home to great food, great drinks, great music, and great times. Look for the giant American...
Welcome to Siesta Sand Live. I'm your host, Natalie Gutwein, and today I've got Judie Berger on. She's in for her quarterly real estate report. We get asked this in the real estate industry every day. What's going on in real estate on Siesta Key? And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with our update. So stay tuned.
The next segment is brought to you by the Judie Berger team, part of Sotheby's International Realty. Whether a buyer or a seller, you'll be delighted with their service. And by Altez Vacations. It's the perfect place to go to find that perfect place to rent.
Welcome to Siesta Sand Live. I'm your host, Natalie Gutwein, and today I'm here with Judie Berger, team lead of the Judie Berger team with Premier Sotheby's International Realty. We're both with that same team, that same company.
It's the best team.
It is. We love Team Premier Sotheby's. Speaking of, how many years have you been doing this here on Siesta Key?
In my just finished up the 26th year, so we're in 27, heading for 30.
Right. How could you be? Were you 4 when you started?
Yes, that's exactly.
Me too. Yeah, that's what I would say when I tell people I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm like,
decades.
Ooh,
Yeah, we don't like to talk.
No. Experience.
That's right.
Right. Not
we
aging.
Are very experienced.
Very experienced agents. Yes. So welcome back.
Thank
you come
you.
on once
It's
a quarter.
always fun to do this.
Well,
Keeps me on my toes.
Right. You've got to do your homework. But
That's right.
I want to talk about what's going on, just our quarterly update to start with. What have you seen going on Siesta Key here in the last quarter?
Well, as you know, I do the quarterly report that gets sent out. And if anybody wants one, just contact us. We do a hard copy. We do it on our website. We e-blast it out to our email list. But it keeps everyone up to date on the real numbers on Siesta Key.
Right, and it's just Siesta Key.
It's just Siesta Key. What you typically see out in the marketplace is an average for Sarasota, or they may bundle condos and single-family homes together in a Siesta Key report. We separate it out. We separate it out by price bracket so that people have the real knowledge of what's happening in their price bracket for their property, and buyers as well. It's
right.
A seller and buyer product that helps people make decisions. And we would like our clients to be fully informed as to what the real answer
right,
is.
and what the real numbers are just on the key.
Just on the key.
Because real estate is so hyper local.
That's real estate. Anywhere you go, anywhere in the country, anywhere globally, it's hyper local.
Well, I mean, even here on the Key, if you're buying something in the city of Sarasota side, it's a little different.
Totally different, especially in the last
in the
year.
unincorporated parts.
And that goes to, as your article had discussed, with finding a local agent, someone that knows where you're buying the property or selling the property. So to give an update, it's actually very surprising,
Right.
in a good way. The single-family solds this year actually were exactly the same mid-year at this time as 2024.
Wow.
We had 100 sales.
I was not sure how that was going to come out.
It's shocking. I went back 3 times to check the numbers. It's correct. 100 sold in 2024 by the end of by mid-year, and 100 sold this year.
Exactly
at the same time, year over year. So equal in single-family homes. Condos, understandably, were a little bit down. They were down 7.5%, which isn't horrible considering what.
No, I mean, I think that's a much smaller number than what people were expecting.
Yes. So we had 180 sold at this time last year. In condos, we have 110 sold at all closed, and these numbers are for closed numbers. The average price for single-family homes is a little skewed because we had a lot of very high-end properties sell last year, and a little bit less so this year. Last year was an unusual year for extremely high-end sales. So it shows 35% down in the price category. Last year it was 2.85 average price. This year it's 1.84 million. It's not.
It's easy for that number to be skewed, though. Like you
Very
said, when you
easy.
have very high-end sales, all it takes is a couple of those.
Absolutely.
And it throws the average off significantly.
And these are averages; they're not median. And 1.84 million is still a pretty cool average price.
Still a pretty
for
good
Siesta
number,
Key.
yeah.
The average prices were tighter in condominiums. They weren't down as they didn't fluctuate as much from last year.
But I don't think you have as big of highs in the condo market.
True, because we don't have that many high-end condos. We
Yes.
had some newer buildings coming out of the ground, but they're very far and few. They're smaller buildings, and they also don't come up for sale very often.
Right.
So the average price this year for condos was $950,000, and last year it was 1.03 million. Not very far off.
No,
just
not too
7.5%
bad, really.
off. Days on market for single-family homes. Last year they closed within 84 days from their last list date, and this year was 66 days down. Days on market fell. This year.
Absolutely not the stat that I think people are
No,
expecting.
And where I think that comes into play is that homes, we're a cash market. We have, we
Yeah.
do very few mortgages for our properties on Siesta. So people that were closing cash could close quickly.
Very quickly, yeah.
And a lot of those sales possibly were properties at the, in the under $1 million price range, could have been land sales. That were
Right,
selling
and
quickly.
nobody was living in the house.
Right,
and so they
storm
could close
damage.
very
People
quickly.
wanted to just walk away from their properties. And the days on market were up a little bit on condos. Last year was 63 days average. This year was 75. Not terrible. Still pretty darn good when you consider that if there were loans, it's usually a 60 to 90 day closing in this area. List to sold price ratio. Last year it was 92% of list for single family homes. This year it's 90. Not terrible. We've been there before with 90% off of
Right,
list.
that's not that's not horrible. I think people that's
Good news.
That's really good news.
And the ratio is even better in condos. Last year was 96%, which is about the high that we've ever had, even in great markets. And it was at 94% this year. So as the prices haven't moved much, the list to sold price ratio has stayed pretty consistent. Active inventory, as everyone has expected, is up 36% in the first half of the year. We had 132 homes on the market last year, single-family homes. This year we have 180. And last year in condos, so single-family homes are up 36%, condos are up 42%, which is understandable, again, because the condos have had more challenges this year.
Right.
Last year there were 155 for sale last year at this time, and this year there are 220 units available. Our most active market in single-family home was between 1 and 2 million.
That doesn't surprise me. That's our bread and butter.
Sweet spot, bread and butter, and that accounted for almost 50% of the second quarter sales.
Wow,
So that
that's
was
a
pretty interesting.
huge chunk.
It is. And the condominiums, the 500 to 1 million dominated the market. And they had 55 sales in that bracket. So, but that's, again, bread and butter.
That's the bread and butter, the sweet spot of the condo market out here.
Absolutely. There were fewer sales, as we discussed, by mid-year in the over $4 million single-family home bracket. And that's just because there were a lot more sales last year. There were less product, and I think a lot of over $4 million sellers did not put their houses on the market. So they weren't available for sale. So fewer sales than 2024. There were 18 in 2024 over 4 million. There were 8 this year. Not a bad number, and that equates to 2023.
Wow.
So 2024 was a big year for
Interesting.
over $4 million sales. These stats are always so interesting.
Right.
And in condos, the upper bracket over $2 million, those sales were down 25%, but it was very steady as the condo averages show. And last year, over $2 million, there were 8 sales. This year, there were 6. So you can see the numbers are looking pretty darn good.
Right. The sales are very consistent.
Yeah, and in pendings, we have 6 vacant land pendings right now, which it's interesting to talk about vacant land
Right.
because for years you had to buy a house and knock it down to have a vacant lot. So that's an interesting new stat. Condos, there are 13 pending, and they range in price from $415,000 to $9.4 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and those are more multifamily properties,
Right.
or large. The 9.4 million, they're large investment rental properties.
Makes sense.
And so in this year, there's 13 pending. Last year, there were 14 at this time. Still very good statistics.
Very consistent.
In single family, we have they range from $470,000 under contract to $4.7 million. There are 20 pending, and last year at this time, single family, there were only 6 pending.
That is a huge number.
It's crazy. It's all good.
Right. That is, that pending number says a lot if you really sit back and think about all the other
Future.
statistics. Yeah, in the
Right.
future, and it slows down
Right. So,
after the first of the year, and
and
it always has.
And so, we've got typical summer stuff going on. Certainly the third quarter will tell a different story because things are going to get really slow. We're going into hurricane season.
Right.
We're in a typical summer, except we've got this happening from last year, hoping that we don't repeat.
Right.
Praying for a quiet season. We've got buyers that are actively searching on our website. They're registering every day. They're searching. They're all up enjoying their lake houses and beach houses and mountain homes, but they are actively searching. There is pent-up interest.
Right.
And since we had a really slow start to the season, we're the first warm market segment for real estate out of the gate in the country, and we got hit with cold weather in January.
We did, right. We were talking about when we recorded the last session
Yes.
out here. We were freezing.
Yeah, we were freezing.
After the first
Yes,
quarter.
we're all weather girls here.
right. Yes.
Sometimes we're freezing in jackets and long sleeves, and
We've got the
otherwise we're
heaters
in our
on.
island wear.
Yeah. Oh, it's warm today.
Yeah, it's
Typical
warm. But
Florida day.
we don't show that we sweat.
No.
We're good. So, and then moving forward in the year, we had a really tough year this year. Cold in January, cold still in the beginning of February. Started to warm up. Then the tariffs hit, and the stock market started bouncing around. The economy kind of flattened out right in the middle of the height of our
Right.
season.
It's been like one thing after the other after the
Nobody
other.
was doing anything, and buyers wanted to be sure, so offers were coming in low. And the really great thing now is the offers that we're getting right now, they're not terribly low. We've got 2 pending, single
Right.
family. We closed last week on another one. One was a storm damage property, so that was a little bit off the list price. But the 2 we have closing are very close to list price.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Realistic buyers, great properties, and people are buying property, and I think we've got pent-up interest based on the searches that people are doing every single day on our website.
Oh, I agree.
So-
I think the second half is going to.
Yeah.
I think once that pending number hits, those are going to close in
They're-
July and August.
They're going to help.
And then this pent up interest, I agree
Yeah.
completely. I think that's where we're going to see.
And I think it's been confusing for buyers and sellers because when we're listing properties, we haven't had the number of comparables to really tightly price our listings. So I think what you're seeing is price reductions based on numbers from a year ago because
Right.
we go back 365 days, then we go back 6 months, and 365 we have more numbers, but they're not exactly accurate because the market was already changing before the storm. So this year, it's kind of, I'm seeing a lot of agents pricing things, and if the market isn't responding, because sales are what a seller's willing to accept and a buyer's willing to pay. So everyone's been a little bit not so sure this year. It's been, I think the key word for this year was uncertainty.
Right. I think that's
Right?
a great way to label 2025 is just
Yeah.
overall uncertainty in
Yeah.
everything.
The stock market's settling in. People have recouped most of their their perceived losses if they didn't cash out when the market fell. People have their 401ks that have made some great money. People have a lot of cash. We're a cash market. We have very few mortgage closings on Siesta Key. And I am cautiously optimistic.
I am too.
Moving
That's what I'm
forward.
seeing. I see a lot of pent up kind of there are people that have been just sitting on the sidelines just
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah, and the buyers now, they want to make sure they're not going to lose money. They want to
Right.
make sure that they're buying a solid property that has good value. But I am very optimistic that our fall, November, December, snowbirds coming back, I think we're going to have a really great, maybe not a great third quarter, but I think we're going to have a really great fourth quarter.
I agree. Why don't we take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what you see going forward.
That sounds great. Thanks.
The following segment is brought to you by Beach Bazaar, located in the heart of Siesta Village. Everything for the beach, and we do mean everything. And by FAM Development, the area's best in custom-built homes. Start living your dream on and around Siesta Key.
I'm back with Judie Berger, and I want to talk about Siesta Key going forward. What do you see coming up for Siesta Key?
Well, Siesta Key is resilient, if nothing else.
Right,
We're a tough bunch out here.
well,
you
the
know.
numbers show that. Not only, and it's not just the numbers, it's living out here.
It is. Everything's. Well, here's the thing. It's nearly a year later.
That's hard
Right.
for me to believe that we're almost
It's been
a
a
year.
tough year,
Yeah.
as you know. I lost my house. My boyfriend lost his 2 houses, all of our vehicles, everything. And we worked every day.
Right.
You and I worked every day.
Yeah.
And we ended up with one of our best years ever.
That's the part that's
Yeah.
really, really hard to
crazy.
believe that where we're at with all this and having one of the best years ever.
Absolutely. We're a tough bunch. We love living here. The skies are blue. The beach is calling.
Right.
We have to work. But
Yeah.
it's calling, and it's calling everyone else too. The places are filled. The Siesta Village is filled with tourists. Tourists become, the vacationers become people that want to move here.
Right.
So we're doing well.
We are. I spoke with a lot of the business owners after the 4th of July that are in the village, and they all had record years.
Yeah, and
So
it's
we're-
great. And
people
we're
are
feeling
back.
it too. Just driving through the island with all the rain we've had, everything is green. So many things we thought for sure were dead and needed to be cut down.
Right. They came back.
The trees and bushes and plants are also resilient. It's just like the people. So we're here. We love living here. Other people will move here. They plan to move here. Their 401ks got bounced around a little
Right.
bit, but they're still intending that pent up desire to move here is still there. So I think moving forward, we're going to have a really great snowbird. When the snowbirds start coming,
Right.
I think our season will really pick up. Right now, it feels like as I mentioned, it feels like a typical summer season.
Right. This is the way that it's always been for
We
decades
keep
down
our
here.
fingers crossed and our toes. And we hope that, we don't mind a little wind, a little rain, a little hurricanes. We just don't want the flooding like we had last year.
Right.
And I think when buyers feel more confident about that, that we will have a really good season. Buyers, since last year, or especially due to last year, the
Right.
flooding, as you know, when you're showing properties, the buyers are more in tune to, did the house flood?
Right. The questions have changed.
It used to be, do you have impact glass?
Right.
Right? Now it's what's the elevation and did the house take on any water? So that has shifted. It's a little bit of a paradigm shift here. And again, as we discussed, the flavor of Siesta Key is going to change. It's going to be better. It's going to be different.
Right.
But it's all good. People still want to move here, and it's still a wonderful place to raise your family.
Right. And I love, as you know, I love raising Gabe here, and he
Yeah.
has such a great experience riding around, going to the beach. It's such a life, you know.
It's a great life. My girls were raised here they're in their 30s now, and they were 4 and 5 when we came here, and we still laugh about how their baths were going to the beach and then jumping in the pool. So, yeah, it's a great place, and I do see a really bright future for Siesta. We're all breathing a sigh of relief that life has turned back to normal for those that were affected. It's turning back to normal, not 100%, but we're feeling really good about it.
It does feel good. It's just different. We see things a little bit differently. We're going to prepare a little bit differently than
right.
what we did before.
We are not going to take it for granted that the Indian princess was sleeping last year and the heart we draw around Sarasota got a little broken. But we are older and wiser and more cautious. I don't know if I'd mentioned it previously, but a client of ours is from the Pensacola area, and they get hit all the time.
Right.
All the time, every year. They get nailed. And she said it's the difference there is the people expect it. They know how to deal with it.
Right.
We've learned
We
how
didn't.
to deal with it.
Yeah, you and I both. You always prepared for storms, and the one
time
you
I didn't.
The one time, yeah.
Yeah. But we are preparing now, and we're preparing early, and a lot of my neighbors are preparing, and I see people, a lot of people are asking questions.
Right.
And some of our neighbors are still investigating elevating their houses and what else they can do. They're using the aqua walls and things like that. So that'll be a new industry here. People will become more aware, and not too many people that I know have left or are planning to
not a
leave.
lot. Just the typical that end up. I mean, we've seen that normal wave.
Yes.
Do you see any opportunities?
Of course, there are opportunities. There's never been vacant land on Siesta Key before. So if you are interested in building a home, the land values have leveled out to probably some of the prices from pre-COVID. So, and they exist now. You really have your choice right now. Do you want to have a lot near the beach? Do you want one near the village? Do you want something on the water on a canal or on some of the bigger water? There are lots of opportunities for people who are interested in building new. The builders are all super busy. There are trucks. You have to maneuver every street with the contractors. But yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. There are opportunities in some of the older homes that have been renovated because prices have leveled out a little bit. Our inventory increasing was a really good thing for buyers.
Oh, it was. For so long, we kept hearing, oh, there's nothing to choose from.
Right.
There's nothing to choose from.
Right. So it's kind of leveled out. We were in a buyer's market for so long, then a seller's market, and it's really evened out. So I think sellers can be satisfied and buyers can be happy that they can find a place to live that's within their means.
And that's a nice change from both sides, not feeling, for so long, we had, like you said, we had the buyer's market, and then it switched and it was all the seller's market, and so many people were upset at that time.
Absolutely. And now it's just good again. It's a lot remains to be seen, but I feel really, really good about where we're headed.
Well, good. I do too. I think Siesta Key, we have proven we're Siesta strong. It is
tough as nails.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Judie.
Always my pleasure.
Appreciate the updates, and enjoy your summer because I know you've got some fun things coming up.
Lots of fun things.
And we'll be back.
Yeah,
next
and we'll
quarter.
be selling real estate straight through.
Yes. Thanks again.
My pleasure.
The final segment is brought to you by the law offices of Eric Fleming, specializing in real estate closings. Mr. Fleming is also the current president of the Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce. And by Gilligan's Island Bar and Grill, Experience the heartbeat of the Siesta Village's dining and social scene.
Thank you for watching another episode of Siesta Sand Live. Were you as surprised about real estate here on Siesta Key as I think most people are? We're resilient. We are Siesta strong. The numbers are showing that. We're seeing it all over the island. The island looks amazing. We are still working toward the Siesta Key Beautification Alliance. We're going to put Siesta Key back and better than ever before. Stay tuned. I think you're going to be very happy with what you see here on Siesta Key. I've got some exciting guests coming up, so stay sunny, Siesta.
Siesta Sand Live is broadcast from Captain Kurt's Village. It's Siesta Key's home to great food, great drinks, great music, and great times. Look for the giant American flag.